We've explored the initial clash of worlds when Europeans first arrived in North America. Now, let's dive into what happened next. The incredible story of how the English not only explored, but began to build permanent homes and entire new societies. This period shaped America in ways that are still evident today. After the first wave of explorers, a new kind of European arrived, the settler. Englishmen, women, and children packed their lives onto ships, driven by powerful motivations. Some sought vast new land to call their own, dreaming of farming and prosperity. Others, like the Pilgrims and Puritans, desperately wanted religious freedom, escaping persecution from the Church of England to worship as they pleased. And for many, it was simply about economic opportunity, a chance to escape poverty, find work, or grow lucrative crops like tobacco to get rich. These weren't just adventurers, they were building new lives. A family reading the Bible in their home by candlelight, symbolizing religious devotion in colonial life. The first successful English colony, Jamestown, Virginia, established in 1607, barely survived its first few years. But lessons were learned, and eventually, these early communities began to take root. They learned to adapt, sometimes with the help of Native Americans, but often leading to tragic conflicts over land and resources. Let's first look north, to the New England colonies, which included Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and New Hampshire. These colonies were largely founded by Puritans and Pilgrims seeking religious freedom. Their society was tightly knit and centered around the church. They lived in compact towns, held democratic town meetings, and valued hard work and education. Their economy wasn't based on huge farms. Instead, they focused on small-scale farming, fishing, shipbuilding, and trade, especially along the coast. It was a strict, but community-focused way of life. Next, we moved to the middle colonies: New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. These were often called the breadbasket colonies because of their fertile lands and abundant production of staple crops like wheat and corn. What truly set them apart was their diversity. Unlike New England, they attracted settlers from many different European countries: English, Dutch, German, Swedish, and practiced religious tolerance. This made them a vibrant mix of cultures and ideas, with bustling port cities like Philadelphia and New York becoming centers of trade and commerce. Finally, we head south to the southern colonies: Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. Here, the warm climate and fertile soil allowed for vast plantation agriculture. Crops like tobacco, rice, and indigo became incredibly profitable. However, this wealth came at a terrible cost. The demand for labor led to a heavy reliance on enslaved African people, who were forced to work under brutal conditions. This created a highly stratified society, with wealthy plantation owners at the top and enslaved people at the bottom, a system that would leave a lasting and painful legacy. Even under British rule, these colonies began to develop their own forms of governance. Early examples like the Virginia House of Burgesses and the Mayflower Compact showed a growing desire for self-rule and representative government. While still loyal to the crown, colonists were learning to govern themselves, a crucial step towards their future independence. So, by the early 18th century, England had successfully established 13 distinct colonies along the Atlantic coast. Each had its own unique blend of people, economy, and culture, but all were growing, adapting, and beginning to shape the foundations of what would one day become the United States. This expansion, however, also came at a great cost to the Native American peoples whose lands were taken. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more history content. And for additional resources and to support future videos, consider joining our community on Patreon. You can find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.